This year in September, which falls in the Jewish month of Tishri, Jerusalem witnesses the most sacred religious celebrations for Jews. These celebrations are linked to repentance and renewal.
يوصلوا لراس السنة عشان يفوتوا سنة جديدة.
Jews pray to be cleansed of their sins as the new year begins and celebrate a great feast so that God will bless this year. The greeting of this feast is Good Year or Sweet Year, which is why so many Jews eat apples with honey. According to Jewish tradition, on Rosh Hashanah, God began to create the world. Jews consider the year just began to be 5782, according to their own calendar. Rosh Hashanah is a beautiful tradition because it commemorates the day of the creation of the world. One of the traditions of this festival is to play the Shofar. In the 6th chapter of the book of Hosea, we read about the sound of the trumpet as the Jews went around Jericho. The trumpet symbolizes war, and here we have a spiritual war, an internal struggle for victory over sin. It is no coincidence that the shofar is made of a ram's horn. It symbolizes the scapegoat that God prepared for Abraham when he obeyed the Lord's command and was about to immolate his son Isaac. According to Jewish tradition, the sacrifice of Isaac took place on the Jewish New Year. Abraham is a symbol of the man of faith for us Christians as well as for the Jews, and reading the story of Abraham reinforces the desire to be like him as a believer and in close relationship with God. As part of the festival traditions and rites of repentance, pieces of bread are also thrown into the water as a symbol of throwing away one's sins. In the same way as the Jews, Christians enter water in baptism to be washed of sins and return to purity. According to Jewish tradition, the Jewish New Year is the Day of Judgment, when a person is judged on the year that has just passed. On New Year's Day, the judgment of every human being, that is, the judgment regarding the year just gone by, is recorded in the Book of Life or the Book of Death. But it is only on the day of Kippur that God signs his own judgment. Therefore, Yom Kippur is the culmination of the period, beginning with New Year's Day, during which forgiveness is sought through fasting and intense prayers. According to tradition, God can change his sentence. If it is recorded in the Book of Death, it is possible for it to change through fasting and prayer, and certainly through good deeds. The fast begins before sunset on the 9th day of Tishri until sunset on the following day, which is about 25 hours. During this time, Jews abstain from eating, drinking and sexual relations and wear leather shoes. They wear white because this color is reminiscent of the shrouds of the dead, a reminder that life in this world is temporary. According to another tradition, the color white represents the desire to imitate the purity of angels. On this day, radio and television stations stop broadcasting for 30 hours and traffic in the streets comes to a complete standstill. The holiday that will follow the Yom Kippur is the Feast of Booths, Sukkot, which will be the following week.